We just want to start by welcoming all of you. All of our staff at the Hudgens Center are honored to have been chosen for your child. Together with Gwinnett Technical College, we look forward to a long and rewarding relationship with you and your family. Welcome to the Hudgens Early Education Center family. On behalf of all of our teaching and administrative staff, we are so glad you're here. My name is Becky Olson and I'm the Center Director. I've been with the Center since its opening in 2006. The Hudgens Center is a special place. The staff who teach and support children are like no other. They are dedicated educators who know how important early education is to the children's future. We have missed the children for the past several months and are eager to see them again, both virtually and in person. The current times are like no other. Everyone is anxious about what the future holds and is wondering how to keep everyone safe as we move forward. We have planned for this year with the utmost consideration for the health and safety of everyone. We are all ready to start the year, even while recognizing we will have to make adjustments along the way. We, as a team, plan to keep health and safety practices embedded in the academic program offered to the Georgia pre-K children. We will be focusing on the social and emotional well-being of all the children. We know the past several months have brought many changes. We know using Carline for drop-off and pickup is difficult, especially during the first couple weeks of school. We know all of you are worried and hoping the first days go smoothly. We all know sending children off to school is often stressful for the parents as it is for the children. Rest assured, we do not take any of this lightly, and we will do everything we can to help everyone transition into the new year. Please read and listen to this orientation. This is an overview of the Center and Georgia Pre-K operating procedures. You will also have an orientation for your child's classroom. Please view both of these orientations and write down any questions you have. Then on Wednesday and Thursday, we will be holding question and answer sessions for all the classrooms. We want you to know we plan to create a fun and engaging classroom experience for all the children. Children need to feel safe and connected to be able to truly learn and thrive. We will strive to make sure they feel part of the center and safe every day that they're with us. Thank you all, and see you soon. The mission of the Hudgens Center is providing a high-quality early learning environment for children and a model training facility for students at Gwinnett Technical College. Part of the Hudgens Center is training students who will be future teachers of young children. We are very fortunate to have a highly qualified team of Georgia Pre-K lead teachers. All of our lead teachers have a bachelor's degree in early childhood education plus Georgia State certification. All the assistant teachers have an associate degree in early childhood care and education. The Hudgens Center operates daily from 7 a.m. to 6:15 p.m. The Georgia Pre-K traditional classrooms will be operating from 7:30 to 2 o'clock and 7:50 to 2:20. If you are not utilizing the extended learning program, you will need to be here to pick up your child on time. The center is closed for all major holidays as well as some staff development days. Please refer to the calendar that was in your enrollment packet and make sure you write down the days the center is closed in your own calendar. We don't want anyone to be surprised when the center is closed for a day. There is no cost for Georgia Pre-K. Georgia Pre-K offers a 6.5-hour instructional day, and this year it'll be 175 days of instruction. There is no cost for meals. The center utilizes the CACFP program, which helps reimburse the center for meals. Afternoon extended learning care is offered from 2 to 6:15 at a cost of $90 a week. There are many ways that the center will communicate with parents during the year. Email is one of our main ways we communicate with parents. It's the best way for us to get consistent information out, so please be sure to check your email consistently. We also utilize a system called School Messenger. School Messenger allows us to email and/or call parents all at one time. It's a fast way for us to get information out to parents. The only time we really use the phone calls through School Messenger is if there's an unexpected closure or other emergency at the center. For example, if there was a snow day and the center and college were going to be closed, you might get an automated call from the center saying that the center would be closed due to the snow. The teachers also are going to be using an app called Seesaw this year. Seesaw will help the teachers communicate directly with you, send you pictures, updates, all of the things that you want to see that's going on in the classroom. So we will be giving instructions on how you should download the Seesaw app, and your teachers will be instructing you on how it'll be used. There could be times when you get a phone call, the teachers might call you, or you can call the teachers. The best time to do that is during nap time or before or after school. When the children or teachers are with the children, they need to focus on the children, so that's not the best time for them to be able to concentrate and answer your questions. We also have a Facebook and an Instagram account. If you want your children to be included in pictures on those, make sure when you fill out the photo release that you give permission to do so. We will not put faces of children on either Facebook or Instagram without parent permission. The building security and safety is outlined in the parent handbook you received. However, the guidelines in the handbook are under normal operating circumstances. Obviously, right now, everything is very different. So, for this year, the following guidelines will be followed for building security and safety. Obviously, it's very important to have the building secure. The lobby will be open to parents to enter for whatever business you may have at the front desk. All those entering the building must wear a mask, and you'll only be allowed to go to the classroom with prior approval. We must limit as much traffic to the classrooms as possible to keep the classroom self-contained. Access cards will not be issued at the beginning of this year, but if operations return to normal, we will issue access cards to all parents. If you need to drop off anything to your child that you may have forgotten, please bring it to the front desk. This includes medications. We will make sure your child gets it in a timely manner. We know these procedures are difficult, and we know it's going to be hard not to be able to go to your child's classroom. Below are the classroom schedules. It's important to look at these so you know what time you should enter car line for your child's class. So for example, if you were in the Firefly classroom, you would start car line at 7:10 and pickup would start at 2 o'clock. The car line procedure is new for us. During normal operating times, parents come in, drop their children off, get them settled in, and then leave. We realize that dropping children off in car line is going to be difficult for some, and we are prepared to help you and help them get used to it. Please remember while on campus to obey all traffic laws, and the speed limit is 25 miles per hour. However, sometimes you have to go even slower because there's lots of pedestrians around. And please refrain from using your phone while in car line or when driving around campus. Please follow the directions that I will outline below for your arrival and drop-off and pickup of your child. All of this information is in the COVID information that was sent in your parent folder. Make sure you place your child's car seat on the passenger side of the car. This is going to help us a lot when we're loading and unloading children in car line. And please make sure your child's windshield sign with their name on it and their classroom name is placed in your windshield every day for drop-off and pickup. First of all, for the first several days that we will be operating car line at the center, the campus police will be around to help direct traffic and help everyone get used to the procedure. The easiest way to get to car line is to enter through the north entrance, which from 316 would be the second entrance. From the west, it would be the first entrance. You're going to turn right at the first stop sign and then follow the signs to the Hudgens Center car line. The Gwinnett Tech Police Department will be present and they will help us navigate through the process. Campus police will reroute traffic down through our parking lot and then back up the lane to car line. When you enter the drop-off zone, please make sure to place your car in park and roll down your child's window. Please do not exit your vehicle. If for some reason your window doesn't roll down, no worries, we can always open the child's door. At this point, a staff member will greet your child and proceed to take their temperature with an infrared thermometer. There will be no touching. Children with a temperature of 100.4 or above will not be allowed to attend the program. The staff member will also spray hand sanitizer on the child's hands as they get out of the car. Another staff member will be checking each child into the center electronically under the parent's name who is dropping them off. Please help us out the first week or so as we get to know you and your child. The staff member may need to ask your name and the child's name to make sure we get everything correct. At this point, the child will get to say goodbye to you and they will be escorted to their classroom. We have decided to have the children enter through the playground gate because then they can go straight into their classroom, and this helps us keep the classrooms contained. A teacher will be at the door to welcome the children and help them get settled into the day. I promise you, a lot of support will be given to the children as they start the day and throughout the day during the first weeks and on. We know many children will need time to adjust to entering a new school with all new people. This is going to be a rough year for some children who have trouble adjusting, and I want you to know that we are there to support them and we will keep you informed. At this point, the parents will move forward and exit campus. Afternoon car line will start in much the same way as morning, with one exception. As you enter the car line, a staff member will be stationed there to read your child's name and radio to the classroom that you are there to pick them up. Once you enter the pickup zone, you will once again put your car in park and make sure the doors are unlocked. Please do not exit your vehicle. A staff member will bring your child to the car and open the door. The child will enter the car and get in their car seat. Many children this age we know can and like to fasten their own seatbelt, but some are still learning the skill. If your child needs help properly securing their seatbelt, we'll ask you to pull ahead a little bit where you can put your car in park and then get out and quickly fasten your child's seatbelt. At the same time that we are having your child get in the car, a staff member will be electronically checking your child out under your name. Please again work with us as we learn all the children's names and your names to make sure we get them checked out under the right person. Then you will move forward and exit campus. Some reminders about pickup. Children will only be released to people that are on their enrollment form. You need to make sure if you want to add someone to the pickup list that you call or stop by the front desk and do so. We will not release children to unauthorized people. If a person is listed on the authorization sheet, she may be asked for her ID. This is to ensure that children are going only with people that you have authorized. And anyone picking up a child obviously must be 16 years of age and have a valid driver's license. They must all be on the pickup list. It's very important that you read the COVID-19 adapted protocol that was included in your packet. This adapted protocol is for all of the procedures that we're doing differently this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Children who are staying for extended learning were placed in 2 of the Georgia Pre-K classrooms. Those groups independently will be escorted to a dedicated extended learning room when pre-K ends. This is going to help us keep each group contained and limit classrooms from interacting with one another. Extended learning ends at 6:15 when the center closes. When you arrive to pick up your child, someone at the front desk will call the classroom and tell them to get the child ready. At that point, you as a parent will be able to walk up to the extended learning classroom, but you will wait outside the door and your child will be let out to meet you. The parent and child will immediately exit the building. The staff at the front desk will check the child out electronically under the parent's name who is picking them up. We realize right now there won't be a lot of parking going on, but if you do need to park and come in the lobby, make sure that you park in the parking lot across the lane. That's the main parking lot for the center. The parking circle in front of the building is prohibited, as is indicated by yellow curbs. There is parking in the circle drive for parents who have infants with them. And if you have a state-issued permit, there is handicap parking in the circle as well. We are starting the classroom with 3 traditional classrooms. Traditional means that they will be in person and run as a normal Georgia pre-K classroom would run. Following are the measures that will be implemented to support the health and safety of the children, the families, and the staff at the Hudgens Center. First of all, I want to assure you that we all take the health and safety of the children and everyone in the building very seriously. We are fortunate that we are affiliated with Gwinnett Technical College, who has a whole department dedicated to monitoring what's going on and have worked directly with the Georgia Department of Public Health and will help us navigate anything that might come up this year. So here's what we're doing to keep everything clean and safe. First of all, since closing in March and then returning to work in June with no children, our classrooms are spotlessly clean and disinfected. The staff have had months to scrub and scrape and clean, and so the classrooms are starting out in a really good place. All adults will be wearing masks, and the children and staff will stay contained to their individual classrooms. This is the biggest way we can cut down on the spread of anything that comes into the building. Our hope is if we can keep the classrooms contained, that if anything would come up that requires a classroom to close down for a certain period of time, that it's contained to one classroom and not all of them. This means that the children and staff will stay in their own classroom all day. They will not interact from anyone from other classrooms. The only time that they will leave the classroom is when they go to the playground. And playground times will be different for each classroom. So only one class will be on the playground at any given time. And then in between the classes, any playground equipment will be disinfected. Obviously, we're going to do proper hand washing. This is something we teach the children from day one, every year, all day long. Have proper hand washing, we know, is the key to helping children and adults stay healthy. So we'll be washing hands throughout the day as normal, but also adding hand washing times. Every time we transition to a new activity, children will be washing their hands. And then anytime a teacher sees them touching their nose or blowing their nose or anything else like that, they'll ask the child to go wash their hands. The classroom will be sanitized throughout the day, and we have removed items that won't be easily sanitized, things like pillows, blankets, dress-up clothing, other things that you can't easily sanitize will not be available to the children this year. And finally, meal service. Typically we use a family-style dining during meals, which means the children can serve themselves and those sorts of things. But this year, that will not be the case. The teachers will set the tables, the teachers will serve the children. The children will sit together and eat, but they will not be touching anybody else's food or the common food bowls and things like that that we normally do when we pass them around the table. So meal service will be very limited in terms of the children participating, other than the fact that they'll be eating. We feel like with these safety measures followed vigilantly, that the kids will be very safe, and we will hopefully keep everyone healthy. I know everyone wants to know what the health policies are and how they're different right now. So essentially the health policies outlined in the parent handbook are all still applicable. There is a lot of illness and germs that go around that aren't COVID. Lots of things children get sick with that aren't at all related to COVID. So we have to continue to follow the policies and procedures that we always have for health and safety. All illness is treated as it would be any other time. The only difference in the illness policy will be that any child with a temperature of 100.4 or higher will be excluded from the center. And we expect parents to keep their children home if they are sick. And you must notify us immediately if you, as a parent, or anyone in direct contact with your child has a confirmed case of COVID-19. This is critical in us keeping everyone at the center safe. If a case of COVID-19 is reported within the classroom or center, the center director will immediately contact the Environmental Health and Safety Coordinator at Gwinnett Technical College. The coordinator will work with the center director to determine which course of action needs to be taken. We will be closely and absolutely following the Georgia Department of Public Health recommendations for who needs to be excluded. And we would immediately be sending that information out to parents so you know what's going on. I promise you that we'll keep in close contact with you and communicate any and all information you need to know related to this. All children must be fever-free without the use of fever-reducing medication before they can return to the center. We ask that you please do not give your child any fever-reducing medication that will mask the symptom of illness, including fever. When this happens, children are allowed to attend for part of the day, but while they're here, they expose other children to whatever the illness they have. And then we call you midday because you have to come get them because the medication has worn off. Please help us to keep the children safe and not expose others to harmful germs. If your child develops symptoms of illness during the day, you will be notified immediately. From that point, you have 1 hour to pick up your child. When we call you and tell you your child is sick, your child will also be removed from the classroom and will be supervised by a staff member until you pick them up. Medications are only administered when a parent signs a consent form. Medications are given at 11 and 3 each day. Over-the-counter medication will not be administered without a case-specific written medical authorization from the child's physician. Medication must be in its original packing with the original pharmacy and prescription label, and it must have the child's name on it. All medication must be dropped off at the front desk and will be administered by an administrative staff member. This means, while we're using the card line drop-off method, if your child needs medication, after dropping off your child, you will need to drive around and park and enter the lobby to drop off your child's medication. The temperature policy is one of the most questioned policies in the health guide in the parent handbook. If your child has a temperature of 100 degrees, but they have no other signs of illness, we will call you and you can decide whether to come and get your child. If this child's temperature is 100.4 or above, the child must be removed from the center. A child is not allowed to attend or remain at the center if he/she has a temperature of 100.4 and has other symptoms, including not being able to participate in regular activities. I will tell you that most children who have any kind of temperature also have other signs, so it's more likely than not you'll be asked to come get your child. We will be strictly enforcing the temperature rules in order to keep everyone safe. In the event your child is exposed to a contagious disease, you will receive notification via email. When we're talking about contagious diseases in a pre-K setting, we're typically talking about things like strep throat or pink eye, things that are highly contagious from one child to another. Should your child contract a contagious disease while not at the center, please notify the center immediately. Often the contagious period is prior to the appearance of symptoms. And when you let us know, then we can let other parents know what to look for in case their child gets sick. Again, children's names are not shared, just what contagious disease has been introduced to the classroom. Your child can return to school as soon as it is medically safe for him or her to do so. Any child who attends the center must be well enough to participate in all program activities, both inside and outside. If a child is on antibiotics, the child must have taken his medication for at least 24 hours before returning to the center and be symptom-free. So now we're going to move into positive guidance techniques that the teachers use in the classroom. In Georgia Pre-K, Probably about 75% of what we do throughout the day is teaching children how to get along and how to handle strong emotions. Things like learning how to deal with anger, learning how to work with other children, learning how to deal with frustration. All of those are things that children have to learn. They don't just know how to deal with them. And so part of our teacher's job is to help children navigate strong emotions and feelings and working with others within the classroom. They do that by using positive techniques which teach children what to do versus what not to do. We don't want to punish children for things that they don't know. So we teach them what to do in certain situations and support them to learn and be successful. If a child's behavior is inappropriate or unsafe, the center uses positive redirection and facilitates problem solving and conflict resolution techniques. There's lots of things that teachers do within the classroom to guide young children, and we'll be sharing those with you throughout the year. The center does not use timeout. If a child is out of control or has hurt another child, a teacher will sit with that child until they are calm, and then we will talk about what's going on, how they're feeling, how it made the other child feel, what we could have done instead. These are things that will help teach the children what to do. The Hudgens Center does not use spanking or any other form of corporal punishment. The center also does not employ or practice other methods to correct your child which will attempt to intentionally humiliate, shame, or frighten, or cause any damage. We are nurturing the social and emotional side of your child as well. To do that, we need them to feel safe, to make mistakes, and for us to support them to learn a different way to do it.
And now for the instructional portion of the presentation. Attendance. The Hudgens Center's expectation is for parents to send their child to school when healthy. The same expectation exists for those students utilizing full distance learning. The Hudgens Center offers two types of learning models, traditional and full distance learning. In the event of closure due to COVID-19, our traditional classrooms will switch from the traditional setting to the full distance learning model. This model is comprised of virtual learning activities for students and their families. Planned activities will be distributed and updated regularly. The GELDS, which stand for Georgia Early Learning and Development Standards, are a resource for parents, families, and educators. They tell us what children should know and be able to do from birth to the age of 5. Understanding the stages of children's development help us know what to expect and how to best support children as they grow and develop. The GELs cover all areas of learning development and school readiness. This includes social and emotional development, physical development and motor skills, approaches to play and learning, communication, language, and literacy, and cognitive development. The transition from pre-K to kindergarten marks the beginning of a child's formal education. Congratulations on this momentous event.